Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard, and we've been discussing the changes in the media landscape and the impact that's having on media budgets, as well as the role of media agencies. With me, Meenakshi Menon of Special Access, R. Gautaman of Mindshare, and Manisha Latgupta of Axis Bank. You mentioned digital, Gautaman. My question to you is, how important is digital media in the media mix? You know, I'm quoting Punita Arumugam of Madison. She says 70% of the conversation with clients is on digital, but only 2% of the budget goes there. Why is there this gap?
This has been my standard view on this. Digital should not be seen as a pie in the ADEX, because then you're missing the plot completely. It's a marketing channel. It's not an advertising channel. So you will never be able to get the sense of what percentage of money I have moved out of television to digital. Then you got all the numbers wrong in the place. I mean, she'll be able to bail me out in a financial services. It is a through the line channel. I mean, you're not going to take 100 GRPs out of television to say I'm going to buy you some clicks in a display campaigns. It doesn't work that way. So to me, digital, the way it has moved in the last 5 years, there is a critical mass for some certain target groups, which is beyond 30 million homes. Consumers have already come into the picture. For them, it is central to the campaign, not an adjunct.
But everyone's talking digital, isn't it? Let me just toss this to Manisha. Manisha, you know, Axis Bank is a financial services company, or in that business, so digital would assume a different role for you, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons why conventional media companies don't think about digital is because they just have a huge FMCG share of mind. And I think for FMCG, digital is still like, you know, an interesting thing to do on the side. But having moved from FMCG to financial services myself, I can see the difference. And the way we've started looking now at our customer touchpoint strategy is that different touchpoints do different things. And therefore, digital plays a different role from, say, television. It reaches out to a different set of people. But like in the financial industry, 50–60% of consumers actually do research online before they buy any financial product. So that's a really large number for me to tag out there. So let's talk
about the Axis Bank campaign that I remember seeing last, the big splash you made about the Axis Bank Platinum card, which offers you this movie deal, isn't it?
That's right.
For me, someone like me, I would imagine that I'm in your TG. It was outdoor where I saw it. Give me a sense of how you would pick for a campaign like that, your choice of media.
Yeah, so, you know, obviously, like I said, we are not large spenders. So obviously, whenever we are doing a campaign, we have to see which is the right medium for it. And, you know, for this one, we thought that a combination of outdoor and online would be a really good combination to meet the target. And
what proportion would these two media be for a campaign like that?
For a campaign like that, it would probably be about, say, 70–30 or so. So, I mean, just because outdoor costs far more than digital does. And especially if you're buying outdoor in large metros. But we did tie it back with a digital campaign on various other sites where people normally go to book their tickets. You know, so Book My Show and other places, as well as our own website. So we had a full sort of, you know, dedicated microsite to this offer, where people, you know, could come and learn more about it and click through and go and buy tickets at places and avail that offer. So it has to be, you know, sometimes digital actually completes the loop for you. And a lot of activity is happening digital today on the net. Tomorrow it will be on the phone. And we have to be ready for that.
Meenakshi, how are advertisers that you've worked with closely, or Special Access works with, reacting to digital media? How do you see them using it or spending on it?
Okay, right now I think everybody is very, very concerned about what to do with the digital space. Because there are no adequate service providers. Media agencies are not in a position to provide answers. There are digital agencies that, you know, try to provide these answers. But what happens is everybody, unfortunately, ends up looking at digital media as being Facebook. And it's not.
Or the likes.
It's much more, or likes, you know, or tweets. It's much more than that.
Is this a concern that media agencies need to address urgently?
Oh, absolutely. We were just talking about it some time back. You know, for us, we're looking at it as an extension of a television planner doing a digital plan. I mean, why should a planner who is doing a TV plan not think of digital? If he can choose between Star and Z, he better choose between Google and Yahoo. I mean, it's clients' 100 rupees that needs to be distributed.
Correct. Actually, I think what's happened is the whole BFSI category has got a head start, in this, because the BFSI category has been using the digital medium as not just a channel of communication, but as a channel of sales, as a channel of engagement.
Like,
And
I think this point Gautaman made about it being a medium that marketing is using
Yes,
correct.
directly. Okay, let's talk about now the medium that enjoys the largest chunk of all ad spends, and that's television. What I'm seeing from purely my perspective is these big properties, whether it's on entertainment TV or sports TV, and some noise around it. And then when it comes to film marketing, I find it really funny how all the film stars make an appearance in every TV serial, no matter how and when. Gautaman, tell me
And
that's not
news
work that you
channels
guys are
also.
doing.
No.
And news channels also. Yeah, Meenakshi, of course, will, yes, that's true, I admit. But what's happening on the TV front?
There are two legs to it. One is from a plan construct itself, using the TRPs and then an incremental reach. There are lots of things that can be done to make your plan very, very efficient. Okay,
Don't
so that's
talk about impact buys.
right. I'm not doing that. So I'm saying from a plan build itself, there is some effort being made to make the money work very harder. Okay. But I'm still struggling to find a disruptive, I'm not using the word impact, I'm using the word disruptive only to say how am I going to grab the viewer's attention. That's a single largest struggle today, and everybody is trying to do all over the place, whether it is tentpole properties or serials. There are in film, in program, in brand, in script, we have tried everything.
In your face.
In your face. I mean, so some of them we are guilty to do that as well. But you still have someone in the script coming and telling you use this product. I mean, we have done that as well. We have tried everything and nothing is working. The single largest problem is that we have more than 95% of programs below 1 rating. You can count your fingers to say there are 10 programs with 2+ ratings today.
Yeah,
Correct.
And that's the challenge. That's why everybody is trying to do everything. And that's why IPL is becoming important, because it gives you 4 ratings for 60 days. You don't
Meenakshi, where does someone like Gautaman look for answers? Are there areas that, that they could look at, media agencies could look at differently? Is there another perspective that you
Yeah,
can
I
bring?
think unfortunately agencies very often do not want to stick their necks out when it comes to making media recommendations to clients. For instance, today you could have a fantastic campaign looking at only niche channels.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry about the 2 ratings, because there are times when those ratings actually come at a huge premium and you don't need them. Look at your niche channels, because in your niche channels you can actually build fantastic solutions which are different based on the brand you're
So
looking
you're saying
at.
all we need right now is guts. It's not that the solutions don't exist.
Absolutely. We need guts, and the glory is out there. And fortunately, there are more and more advertisers like Manisha who are interested in supporting innovation.
But Manisha, at Axis Bank today, you would probably have a similar view. But when you were at Colgate-Palmolive, before that at Levers, could you take these kind of decisions on brands, or because there's such a huge basket of brands they have?
I think at the center of it is really your customer and your customer touchpoint strategy. And if you find that the only way to reach 90% of them is through television, that's the reason television can command the premium that it does today. But I think in BFSI or other smaller categories where you have the options to break out, I would urge marketers to do it there at least.
So when Meenakshi says look at niche channels, look at a different way of doing it, stick your neck out a bit, you're saying that it's difficult to do that, and
No, I
agencies will find it difficult to do
No,
that?
I think in FMCG also there is a way to do that, because you would not have everything selling at the same price point to the same target group. The problem is when a typical brand manager says that, no, I haven't seen my ad on my show. And that should not happen. I mean, there should be some ads which only run on Doordarshan and others which only run on...
How much does this happen? Because, if you're in a city like Mumbai, you know the airport road and you know Marine Drive. Aren't those places where your clients will pass by and that's why they command more of a premium? I've heard this. This is true, isn't it, Gautaman?
No, okay. I could really empathize with what she said, because I did have some deja vu moments about what happened in my life as well. But life has changed for better, I should say, because the monitoring has improved a lot to now where it was earlier, because we have made some progress in having some neutrality of claims in media. So people like her quantify and certify these
Coming in
initiatives
and
as well.
pushing neutrality.
Right.
But can I interrupt? I think the important point here is that when it comes to budgets, okay, the bigger the budget, the less fussy you are about extracting value out of it.
That's true.
The smaller the budget, the more paranoid you are about extracting value out of it.
Gautaman, quickly give us a sense of where we are headed to. September 2011, we're talking about the world is seizing up again financially. Double-dip recession seems to be a reality. Where are you seeing the media landscape?
Going by what has happened in the last 3 months, that is July, August, September, it is slower than the first half of the year, for sure. In our estimates, if the first half grew by 20% Jan-June, we believe the second half will not be more than 10%. I think this time is going to be a slow burn and a longer torture period rather than just 1 quarter or 2 quarters of stress points. Primarily because we are at the time when we are going discussing next year's annual plans and budgets. There is no exposure on to what's going to happen in the second half of the year as well as the first half of next year. No World Cup in the first half of next year. So there are a lot of other variables that's coming into the picture. So it is going to be a long 18-month slow burn.
Manisha, what do media agencies need to deliver then in this kind of a scenario to advertisers, no matter what industry they belong to?
Well, I think that media agencies need to start looking at all touch points holistically. I don't think we can say that, I'll get you the TV and the print, somebody else will give you the outdoor and somebody else will give you a digital. Because 15 years ago, the media agency used to be the owner of the customer touch point strategy, and I think they need to get that back.
Meenakshi?
No, I agree with Manisha. I think, the media agency and indeed the client have to now say, this is the kitty, okay, this is my consumer. How best do I reach my consumer? And I think fundamentally, when they define the consumer, they need to be creative in terms of defining the consumer. I think this whole traditional classification of SEC, A, B, C, 15 to 24 is history. As long as your definition is going to be rooted in the past, you're not going to be able to look to the future. You're going to have to redefine that consumer.
I would say make the money work harder. I mean, as an industry, if we can come together to make it work harder, I mean, we'll all go back happy. But the thing is, it requires some enablers. We don't have those enablers today.
All right. What the enablers will be, I think, should be another conversation.
Absolutely.
But on that note, fabulous discussion. Manisha, Gautaman, Meenakshi, thank you very much for being on Storyboard. We're going to close this show here, but do join us again, same time, same place next week. See you then.